So this is the all-new Poco X6 Pro, and I believe this is easily the best mid-range gaming phone of 2024. I have been testing it for a little over a week now, and I am absolutely blown away by its performance more than anything else. Right now, I'm not sure what its official price is going to be, but I think it will launch for under 30,000 rupees or $350. And for that price, it brings a ridiculously powerful Dimensity 8300 Ultra chip that's far more capable than what you'd find in other similarly priced phones, alongside an impressive cooling system. But first, let's go through what you get inside the box. First, you can see that there's the basics, a SIM card ejector, a cover, paperwork, and then there's the phone in this classic yellow color. We have a 67-watt charger alongside a compatible USB-A to C cable as well. Alright, so let me start with the performance. This is the first phone in 2024 to come with MediaTek's latest Dimensity 8300 Ultra globally. Built on a 4nm TSMC process, the 8300 Ultra is all about performance and efficiency. It even surpasses something like the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 in AnTuTu scores, and even in longer real-life performance tests, I've gotten satisfactory results from it. And besides the flagship level chip, I like how Poco has not compromised on the memory front either, as it comes with DDR5X RAM and UFS 4.0 storage. And all of these reflected very well in my gaming tests. Starting with PUBG Mobile, I got a stable 90 FPS at smooth graphics even when playing it for 30 minutes straight. Call of Duty had no hiccup running at max settings with 60 FPS either, although if you can let go of some of the visual fidelity, the X6 Pro can even play it at 90 FPS. I also tried some other high FPS ready games like Mech Arena, and I was quite surprised to see how it managed 110 FPS on average at ultra graphics. No sweat. The X6 Pro did struggle while playing Genshin Impact at high graphics, with some notable frame drops after like 6 to 7 minutes, but overall I am really impressed with this guy's gaming capabilities. And not just the raw FPS scores, but the thermals on this thing are super impressive too. The Poco X6 Pro never hit above 40 degrees Celsius in any of the games I played, so it seems like Poco's second-gen liquid cool tech with a large vapor chamber works its magic just fine. Apart from the excellent gaming results, I like the software experience on this phone as well. This is because it boots on Android 14 based HyperOS, which makes it the first phone outside of China to bring Xiaomi's brand new operating system right out of the box. Even the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus does not provide that, so that is impressive. I've already made a dedicated video on HyperOS that you can check out from somewhere here, but what you need to know is that HyperOS feels buttery smooth on the Poco X6 Pro. I especially love the way I can customize my lock screen here along with other perks that come with HyperOS. But the one thing that I didn't like to see with Xiaomi's new operating system are these cheap bloatware apps that come pre-installed. I know I can get rid of all of them quite easily, but I just wish that wasn't the default software experience here. As for Poco's update commitment, Poco has promised to provide 3 years of OS and 4 years of security updates on this thing, so I am actually really glad that Poco is improving on the software front too. Alright, performance aside, the X6 Pro's display is equally amazing. You're looking at a 6.6 inches AMOLED display that's smooth, sharp, and pleasantly vibrant. I'm also happy to see an in-display fingerprint reader here, which is a first for Poco's X series. Its 120Hz refresh rate is an adaptive one too, by the way, and it automatically dips to as low as 30Hz depending on what the screen is playing. I like the touch response of this display too. Poco has bumped the touch sampling rate to 480Hz from 240 on the X5 Pro, and I'm also happy to report that typing experience on the X6 Pro is good enough. They have included an X-axis vibration motor that feels pleasant to type on. It's not very strong though, but it's not buzzy either. Likewise, I had no trouble with its outdoor visibility too, since the X6 Pro's display can hit 1200 nits at best. You do get a total of 1800 nits of peak brightness here, but that only applies to like 1% area of the screen when you're watching HDR content. Anyway, even with 1200 nits, the display is bright enough on this phone. Thankfully, the X6 Pro can play HDR videos perfectly fine. Even Dolby Vision mastered ones on streaming platforms like Netflix. For the most part, its dedicated stereo speakers also do a pretty good job of complementing the multimedia experience. They get loud enough and retain good details, although I found it to sound a little sharp at high volumes. Poco's design game on the X6 Pro is also pretty strong. I've been rocking this signature Poco yellow color variant and it looks really pretty to my eyes. You can also get a standard black or a grey color option, which is new by the way, but you have to note that the grey and black color variants have plastic backs while the yellow one comes with vegan leather finish. I have to tell you that this device does not feel cheap on the hand, especially this yellow one that I have. The subtle curves on the back help with better grip and hands-on feel, and this accented power button adds some character to the design as well. It is also IP54 dust and splash resistant, and as always there's an IR blaster on board. But the sad news is that Poco has gotten rid of the headphone jack for some reason, so if you're a competitive gamer and don't want to deal with in-game audio latency, then using a pair of wired earphones with an adapter is the only option here. Its battery life is also something I can't really complain about. Poco has managed to fit in a large 5000 mAh battery inside, which has been comfortably giving me close to like 7 hours of screen on time on average. And the 67-watt charger that you get inside this box tops it up in around like 50 minutes only, so that's all the more impressive. Okay, so until now, the Poco X6 Pro looks like an absolute no-brainer. From the performance to the design, display and battery life, everything about it is top-notch. So how are the cameras? Let's look at the specs first. The X6 Pro has a primary 64 megapixel OmniVision sensor with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultrawide and a pointless 2 megapixel macro shooter that I am honestly tired of seeing on a phone in 2024. Whereas up front you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera. And after taking a lot of photos and videos and comparing it with Samsung's new Galaxy A25, the one conclusion I came to is that the X6 Pro is not suitable for those who want a reliable camera system. The cameras are almost always the weakest point on a performance-centric phone, and sadly it's all the same with this guy too. During the day, the X6 Pro's main camera does a good job of retaining details. Its close-up shots look decent too, but that's pretty much all the praise that I have for it. The white balance in most photos is off, and overall the output is very inconsistent here. Sometimes you get a good shot or two, and the other times it just messes with dynamic range and color reproduction. Highlight control is another thing that could have been better, and I don't know what's going on in this photo from the X6 Pro, but there are 2 shades of sky somehow. Low light shots from the phone are good enough though, but only from the normal mode. Night mode just messes up with exposure and makes the photos unnecessarily bright and unrealistic. When it comes to human subjects, Poco tends to brighten the faces, which looks good sometimes. Other times, like with the normal photos, the pictures are not consistently nice. Like in this image where the background is completely blown off, or this one where the picture is just too hazy. I will not complain about the selfies because they actually come out quite pleasing. The ultra-wide-angle images surprisingly have good color processing, but because of the lower res sensor, it does not have much details. As for videos, the Poco X6 Pro can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS from the rear camera. There's no OIS, so the videos don't have proper stabilization. The quality is not bad though during daytime and even nighttime, but stabilization is a letdown here. Interestingly enough, this thing can also shoot HDR videos from the main camera, and the results look pretty nice. So everybody, that was all for my full review of the all-new Poco X6 Pro, and based on everything that I've discussed so far, it's clear that this is an absolute steal of a gaming phone. It's got an absurdly powerful processor for its class, which has been complemented by an equally good cooling system that delivers a fantastic gaming experience. That's not all, the X6 Pro ticks most other boxes too, including the design, the display, and the battery life. Above all, Poco has upped their software game as well, but the cameras is where Poco has a lot of work to do. I mean, a lot of work to do. I guess the company can improve on this aspect with future software updates, but if cameras are important to you, this is not the phone for you. But if you're a performance-centric user, you can't go wrong with this device. So everybody, that was all for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Till then, I'm Pratima, and I will be back with another review video.